According to a new Washington Post ABC News survey, President Biden's approval rating falling 6 points in just 3 months, dropping from 42%, which is bad, to where it is right now, 36%, as more questions swirl about his age and mental fitness.
Here to break it down is pollster for McLaughlin and Associates, John McLaughlin, and political analyst, best-selling author Mark Halperin. John, to you first. I feel like every time we talk, it's a new poll, and the numbers keep going down. Does this surprise you at all?
No, when you have bank failures going on, when inflation is running rampant. In this same poll, the question they asked after Biden's job approval, they asked who was better handling the economy, and it said Trump, 54-36. So the best thing that Donald Trump has going for him is Joe Biden's announced his reelection campaign, and basically the economy's getting worse, the border's at a crisis, crime is going up, and he can't stop the war in Ukraine or between Russia and Ukraine. I mean, Biden is probably the worst president that this country's ever seen, and it's coming at those ratings. That's a Washington Post ABC poll. That is not some conservative poll, and it's by the way, my poll that I put out a week ago had Trump leading Biden 47-43. This poll has Trump leading Biden 49-42. So Donald Trump is getting stronger week by week as Joe Biden says he's running.
Yeah, it really is remarkable. Mark, good morning. Nice to see you again. The poll also found that only 32% of voters say that Biden has the mental sharpness to serve effectively, which is an extremely low number, and only 38% would vote for him compared to 44% who say they would vote for Donald Trump. How does that bode for the president just a week and a half after making the announcement that he's running for re-election with 19 months to go until November 2024?
Good morning, everybody. This is a devastating poll for the White House, and very good news for President Trump. It tracks with John's polling of late, but as John said, this is not. This is a respected media poll, still reverberating in the political community. The New York Times rarely writes up an entire story about a Washington Post poll, but they did in this case because there's so much data in it that's of great interest to folks. I'd say finally, the number John cited, people rating President Trump significantly better on his economic record than Joe Biden. That's the number that's got Democrats super worried, because whether the economy gets worse or not, that's, of course, where voters vote. Finally, I'll say, yes, John and I are going later to get joint haircuts at a 2-for-1 deal because we're both badly in need of time at the barber.
All right, so John, Republican candidate Asa Hutchinson joined Meet the Press yesterday. Here's what he had to say about Trump's campaign.
He'll drop in the polls, and that's why I think he will ultimately be there. It's important for the American public to hear, particularly the Republican voters, to hear what the candidates say about the future, their ideas for it, and to engage in that debate and defend their position. So that's what the expectation is, and I think everybody has an obligation to participate in that.
John, do you think Trump will drop in the polls?
No. No, I think Trump's getting...
John, a little bit maybe? Maybe he'll drop a little bit?
Well, you know, there might be some bad polls here and there. But, you know, right now, it's becoming a two-way race. And it's very early where, you know, January 22nd is when the Iowa caucus happens. January 30th is when the New Hampshire primary happens. So this, you know, it's still very early. We got a whole summer, a whole fall to go through, and things can happen. But right now, it's becoming a two-way race because Joe Biden said he's running for re-election, and a lot of people are looking at President Trump and Joe Biden saying President Trump was the better president, and we need him back again because we were safer, we felt stronger, the economy was better, and as Mark said, the economy is the #1 issue that the Democrats are very worried about, and that's what Trump is stronger.
I'm just waiting for DeSantis to make that announcement official. He'll likely see a little bump in the polls when that happens. He's not even a candidate yet, so I don't count out Ron DeSantis or other Republican candidates. Mark, we spend so much time talking about the Republicans. Let's talk about the Democrats a little bit. Are you surprised that Biden in this poll only has a 7-point lead? If Biden's so bad, why is he only leading by 7 points over Trump, DeSantis, and the rest of the Republican field? And I'll add to that, why isn't anybody talking about RFK Jr.? I think you look at this poll, again, from the Washington Post, this opens the door up even wider to a legitimate Democratic challenger.
Well, Biden, you said it was ahead. He's behind in this poll, as you know.
Sorry. Yeah, no, yes, but only by 7 points. If he's so bad, why is the margin only 7 points?
Well, because we're in a 50-50 nation. If the lead is anything like 7 points, given the Electoral College, Donald Trump would win in a landslide. It's hard now, if you look at the last few presidential races, for any party's candidate to be ahead by anything like 7 points. So I suspect if the election were held, it wouldn't be 7. But again, I think what's most stunning about that number is no one I talk to in either party says, oh, that can't be true. It can't be right. People are accepting the fact that Joe Biden, and you look at the crosstabs in this poll, has a lot of problems. I think people will start talking about Robert Kennedy. If he does a good job, there's a bit of a media boycott against him in some quarters because of his positions. But I think if he does get out there, particularly in New Hampshire, where Joe Biden doesn't plan to compete, I do think just by the definition of the physics of the political physics of the vacuum, so many Democrats in that ABC Washington Post poll don't want Joe Biden to run. We've seen that in other polling.
Right.
I think if Kennedy can offer himself as an alternative, I think any warm body could probably get 15% of the vote, and Kennedy is more than a warm body here. He may be able to get enough of percent to do some political damage to the president.
I've only seen RFK Jr. on Newsmax and Fox News. The rest of
the other
media
media, they don't like
wants
him.
nothing
No.
to do with somebody who's polling at 20+%. John McLaughlin, Mark Halperin, thank you so much for breaking that down for us. We'll do it again soon.